Something in those ruins was trying to lure me in. When I was a kid, I grew up between England and Ireland, and no matter where I was living at the time, one thing never changed. I was always being dragged along on some kind of trip to see a castle. I've seen so many castles growing up that I honestly lost count. Some of them were massive, well preserved, full of history, especially the ones in England with my grandparents. But when I was back in Ireland, things were different. My dad had this thing he liked to call castle hunting, and instead of going to the big famous castles, he would search for the lesser known ones, the ones no one really visited, the ones hidden out in the middle of nowhere. To be honest, I didn't really enjoy these trips. Most of the time, they weren't even proper castles. They were more like old fortified houses from centuries ago. Small, quiet, and kind of underwhelming compared to what I was used to. But one day, he found one that was different. He had been searching online and found a location somewhere near the border between Leinster and Munster. I don't remember exactly where, but if I had to guess, it was probably somewhere around Tipperary. We drove for about an hour, deeper and deeper into the countryside, until eventually we pulled up beside a random field. There were no signs, no paths, no indication that anything important was even there. But in the distance, right in the middle of that field, were the ruins. And immediately, I could tell this one was different. This wasn't a small fortified house. The structure was tall, worn down, with parts of it still standing. 2 round towers still remained, while the rest had been slowly taken over by nature. It was covered in vegetation, vines crawling over the stone, grass growing through the cracks. It looked abandoned, forgotten, like no one had touched it in years. We stepped into the field and started walking toward it, and the closer we got, the quieter everything felt. There was no one else around, no sounds except the wind and the movement of the grass. And as soon as I stepped inside the ruins, I noticed something. An entrance. It was just there, built into the stone, leading into a pitch-black room. I stopped and stared at it. I couldn't see anything inside. Not shapes, not walls, nothing. Just pure darkness. Now, I've always been afraid of the dark. Even as a kid, I avoided places like that completely. But this time, something felt different. Because as I stood there, looking into that darkness, I felt something I had never felt before. An urge, a strong, almost overwhelming urge to go inside. And it didn't feel normal. It didn't feel like curiosity. It felt like something was pulling me toward it, like something inside that darkness wanted me to come closer. I just stood there for a few seconds, frozen. Part of me was terrified, but another part of me wanted to step forward. And for the first time in my life, those two feelings felt equal. My fear of the dark and whatever was drawing me in. Eventually, I forced myself to walk away. I told myself it was nothing, just my imagination. But that feeling didn't go away. As I kept exploring the ruins, I came across another entrance. This one wasn't completely black. I could actually see inside. It was a tunnel, narrow, made of stone, leading deeper into the structure. And the moment I saw it, that same feeling came back, stronger this time. That same pull, that same urge to go inside. And this time, I gave in. I stepped into the tunnel. No flashlight, no phone, just walking forward slowly. As the light behind me started to fade, each step felt heavier, the air felt colder, and the further I went, the darker it got, until eventually, I reached the point where the light stopped, and the darkness began. And right there, that feeling hit me again, stronger than before, like something was right in front of me, waiting, wanting me to take one more step, just one, and I almost did. I really almost did. But something in me finally snapped, and my fear took over. I turned around and walked out, quickly. I didn't even look back. I went straight to find my dad. I told him about the tunnel and what I felt, so he went in to check it out with a flashlight. I stayed outside, and I could see the light moving inside the tunnel as he walked in. A few seconds passed, then he came back out, and I asked him, "Why didn't you go further?" And he said something I'll never forget. He told me, "Right where the darkness begins, there's a deep hole, and at the bottom of it are jagged rocks and broken stone." And in that moment, everything clicked, because just minutes earlier, I had been standing right there, right at the edge. If I had taken one more step, I wouldn't be here. I would have fallen straight into it. We stayed there for a few more minutes, but something felt off. That place didn't feel right anymore, so we left. And as we were driving back, I asked him one last thing. I asked him if he had gone into the first room, the one I refused to enter, and he paused. Then he said, "No." He said he didn't go in, not even with a flashlight. Now, my dad is ex-military. He's the type of person who's never afraid of anything. The kind of guy who would climb onto the roof without hesitation, just to fix something. But that day, he wouldn't go into that room. And that stuck with me, because I've been to a lot of castles, old ones, dark ones, creepy ones, but none of them ever made me feel like that. None of them ever felt like something inside was trying to pull me in. And I still think about it sometimes, because whatever that feeling was, it almost got me.